Thanks for pressing play, Brian here. In this video we're going to have a look at Slieve na Cailleach, which is one of the shortest hikes and one of the easiest ones to do. It's located near Oldcastle in County Meath. It's actually the highest point in County Meath, just over 900 feet, and it's quite easy to find on Google. And for any of you that actually like history, there's also some ancient burial tombs which date back to the 4th millennium BC on the top of this summit. There's obviously a number of ways to get there, and Google Maps really is going to be your friend. It's easy to find on Google Maps. Just look for Loughcrew Cairns. The route that suited us best was actually leaving Kells. There's one really cool thing actually. On the way out of Kells, on the right hand side, there's the Spire of Light. And while it's referred to as Ireland's only inland lighthouse, this 100-foot high tower with a lantern on top was actually built in the 18th century and used for watching horse racing and hunting in the 19th century. So with some attractions in Ireland, some of them can be difficult to find, but actually Loughcrew is really simple in terms of how to get there using the road. No matter what direction you're coming from, there's going to be lots of signposts, so you really will have no problem finding it from the road. What is striking though is that when you are getting close to it, the summit is really not that obvious. Unless you've been there before, it's quite difficult to see from the road. You will eventually, however, come upon a sign which is going to direct you off the road, and once you go off the road from this direction, you're going to go up this much smaller road, which there's only space for one car, but there is areas along there where you can pull in and let a car past if you do meet someone, and this is going to bring you straight up to the car park. The car park's a reasonable size. It probably holds somewhere in the region of maybe 20-25 cars, and at certain points of the year there's also refreshments available there as well. Once you leave the car park, you're going straight onto these steps, which are pretty straightforward, and once you get to the top then you're going to see the post sticking out of the ground, and you're going to follow those all the way to the top. One thing I would say to you is, depending on the time of year, it can get quite soggy, so have appropriate footwear, but in the summer it's really no trouble if you're wearing runners. The walk from the car park is probably somewhere in the region of maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and there's really nice views on your left hand side as you're walking up where you're looking west. In terms of the energy you'll need, anyone with a reasonable level or moderate level of fitness can attempt this no problem. There's a couple of small steep bits, but they don't last too long. Kids will have no problem getting up this, and actually on the day we carried an infant up, so it's really not that difficult. Once you cross over the brow of the hill, you'll see on the right hand side where the burial site is, and on the left you'll start to be able to see further north and also northeast, and that's what's really great about hikes. Once you get up into a high vantage point, there's some really nice views around the place. After you enter through the gates, you're onto the burial site area, and if you go to the far end of it to your right hand side as you enter, basically you'll be able to see quite far down south and also east as well. Once you're finished taking in all the sights around, then there's also the passage tombs which you can look at as well. This Loughcrew passage tomb is actually the highest of 4 hilltops in the area, and the 4 hilltops together actually compose what is known as Slieve na Cailleach. The passage tombs probably date back to somewhere in the region of 3300 BC when they were built, and they were basically burial grounds as well as a site of worship and areas for mass gatherings. The cairns are actually composed of a gritstone, which is like a really soft sandstone, and it's soft enough to allow carvings, and researchers in the areas have found petroglyphs of different shapes and sizes. Petroglyphs basically being ancient carved pictures. Anyway, overall it'll probably take you maybe 15 minutes or so to get up. You'll spend maybe 20 minutes at the top and maybe 15 minutes to get back down. So all in all, about an hour overall, and it's not too strenuous. So hopefully this has been useful, and at least you know what you're going to look at if you're heading for Slieve na Cailleach, and there is going to be other high points of Ireland done in the rest of this series. Thanks for taking time to watch.